Jeremy, what gave you an interest in the IDF presidency?
Well, I've been on the board now since 2002 and involved in a whole range of other IDF activities. So I've seen firsthand what a difference IDF can make. And really the time was right for me to move from contributing to the governance of the organisation to leading the governance. I've got a range of experience throughout the value chain, and I sort of see a real opportunity for me to use that experience to support the IDF.
So how relevant is the IDF to the global dairy industry today?
Well, it's an old organisation. I mean, IDF's been around for more than 100 years, and throughout those 100 years, it's really defined the operating environment for the dairy sector. And by that I mean the work that IDF does in establishing international standards for methods of analysis and sampling, food standards, other regulations, really does define the operating framework for the sector. And that's just as important today as it was 100 years ago. In fact, we're facing a number of challenges today, nutrition, sustainability, horizontal issues that require IDF. In fact, if IDF didn't exist, we'd have to create it to try and deal with these issues. We need a peak body on a global basis to bring the sector together to reach consensus on these issues.
So can it work for the industry in both the developed world and the developing world where the circumstances are so different?
It can, in fact, it must. So when you say the circumstances are different, they are if you look at a national level or a regional level, but if you think of the fundamentals, they're actually the same. We all need more nutrition for less inputs, whether that's a developed country or a developing country. So essentially we've got the numerator-denominator issue globally. How do we provide more nutrition that benefits at less cost? And that could be financial cost, environmental cost, and a whole range of other costs. So it's the same issue whether you're in Western Europe or you're in the Far East. And of course, as food becomes globalised, sustainability issues in Europe are sustainability issues in Asia, and vice versa.
So where do you think the IDF could make an impact in the next couple of years?
Well, I think coming back to those horizontal issues, I mean, traditionally IDF has been very, very strong at setting policies and standards that really stick within the sector itself. So, for example, a method of analysis for a dairy product is a method of analysis for a dairy product. But when you start to get into life cycle analysis and carbon footprinting, those methods tend to have relevance across a whole range of not only foods, but broader than that. So you start to get into issues where you can't just win by bringing the sector on board itself. So again, it's why I think it's critical that we do have a peak body, but I would also say it's also critical why we have strong national bodies. Because whereas IDF can set the global agenda, it's the national bodies such as Dairy UK that execute on it at the local level. You do set agendas globally, but execution tends to be local, and we shouldn't forget that.
So are you confident about the future of the dairy industry?
Very, very confident. If you look at the sector, milk's a wonderful product. It is the gold standard for nutrition. And if you look on a global basis, we've got a wonderful demand situation coming. But there's a range of issues. That demand's going to come with volatility. We have the sustainability issues. We have to tell the world about dairy nutrition. In fact, the world needs to really recognise what nutrition means, and then the role of dairy within it. These are pretty big challenges. And then, of course, we've got to provide food through safe supply chains. And that, as we know, is a real challenge as we face this food security global demand situation. Now, IDF is going to be an important contributor to meeting those goals. It won't provide all the solutions, but I believe it's a very, very important contributor to that.
Jeremy, thank you very much.